29 जुलाई 2020, जी हाँ, यही वो दिन था जब भारत को एक नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 मिली। यह राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति जब से आई है तब से अलग अलग विश्वविद्यालयों ने यह प्रयास किया है कि इसका कैसे क्रियान्वयन किया जा सके। आज हम उस मोड़ पर आ चुके हैं जब इस नीति को आए हुए लगभग 5 वर्ष पूरे होने जा रहे हैं। हर विश्वविद्यालय ने अपने अपने स्तर पर प्रयास किए। डॉक्टर हरि सिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय ने भी बहुत प्रयास किए। इसमें कई बैठकें भी की, कई वर्कशॉप्स किए, कई आयोजन किए, कई सेमिनार किए, कई एक्सपर्ट्स को बुलाया और उसका निचोड़ ये निकला कि आज डॉक्टर हरि सिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय NEP के क्रियान्वयन के चौथे वर्ष में है। जी हाँ, चौथा वर्ष। इसका मतलब है कि हमारे छात्र, जो NEP कहती है कि 4 ईयर अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम, उसमें हमारे छात्र आ चुके हैं। आज ये आवश्यक है कि हम जानें कि इस पूरी नीति को हम पूरी तरह से कैसे क्रियान्वयन कर सकते हैं। मुझे लगता है कि अलग अलग विश्वविद्यालयों ने इस पर बहुत काम किया है, लेकिन डॉक्टर हरि सिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय ने एक छोटा सा और एक नया प्रयास किया है। इस नए प्रयास में जो राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति उच्च शिक्षा के लिए ख़ास तौर पर कहती है, जो 11 एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं, उन पर आधारित ये एक 10 वीडियोस की एक सीरीज़ का एक निर्माण हमारे ही विश्वविद्यालय के EMRC स्टूडियो ने किया है। और इन वीडियोस के माध्यम से हमने छात्रों के बारे में भी चर्चा की है, हमने शिक्षकों के बारे में भी चर्चा की है, हमने गवर्नेंस के बारे में भी हमने कुछ चर्चा की है, इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन ऑफ एजुकेशन, इसके बारे में भी हमने चर्चा की है, इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन की भी चर्चा की है, भाषाओं के बारे में भी चर्चा की है। और हर शिक्षक को पुस्तक लिखने और पढ़ने का बहुत शौक़ होता है। इसी क्रम में हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के शिक्षकों द्वारा अभी जब ज्ञान कुंभ में 4 पुस्तकों का विमोचन किया गया था और अभी 5 वर्ष पूरे होने पर हमारे शिक्षकों द्वारा ही 12 पुस्तकें फिर आने वाली हैं। मुझे पूरी आशा है कि शिक्षा नीति के अलग अलग पहलुओं पर जो चर्चा की गई है वो समस्त हमारे देशवासियों के लिए, समस्त शिक्षकों के लिए बहुत लाभकारी होगी। मैं ये भी बोलना चाहूँगी कि ये जितने भी वीडियोस बनाए गए हैं या जितनी भी पुस्तकें लिखी गई हैं, ये बाइलिंगुअल हैं, कुछ इंग्लिश में हैं और कुछ हिंदी में हैं, जिससे कि पूरे देश में इनका उपयोग किया जा सके। आज IT को लेकर हम कैसे पूरे शिक्षा में एक बदलाव लेकर आ रहे हैं, क्या क्या शिक्षा जगत में बदलाव होने चाहिए और कैसे अलग अलग शिक्षण संस्थाएं अपने लेवल पर राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति का क्रियान्वयन कर सकेंगे, इसके बारे में अलग अलग एपिसोड्स में अलग अलग शिक्षकों के साथ एक ये चर्चा की गई है। मुझे लगता है कि इन वीडियो के माध्यम से हमारी जितनी भी शिक्षण संस्थान हैं वो अवश्य ही लाभान्वित होंगे और आगे आने वाले समय में जो भी कमियां रह गई हैं इसके क्रियान्वयन में, उनको पूरा करने में हम अवश्य ही सफल होंगे। मैं डॉक्टर हरि सिंह गौर विश्वविद्यालय की ओर से आप सभी को इन 5 वर्ष पूरे होने पर बहुत शुभकामनाएं देती हूं और आशा करती हूं कि आप जिस मिशन पर लगे हुए हैं उसमें अवश्य ही सफल हों। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Approved the National Education Policy 2020 on 29th July 2020. Almost we are reaching about the 5 years, and as the terms of age, it is an infant age, but we did lot of work on NEP 2020 with the help of various educationists of the country. And all of you know this policy is divided in the 4 major section, and the section 2nd is devoted for the higher education. And under the higher educations, the holistic and multidisciplinary education is one of the major area. And today we have with us Professor Neelima Gupta, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Dr. Harisingh Gour Central University. Madam did a lot of work while this policy is framed, and lot of educationists did many of the works about the holistic and multidisciplinary educations, and Professor Neelima Gupta is one of the major milestone or preparing the draft on the holistic and multidisciplinary educations. Madam, we are pleasure to invite you present your views about the holistic and multidisciplinary educations, how this policy works, and what is the primary education of this holistic and multidisciplinary education.
Thank you, Professor Jain. I welcome all the viewers who are present here. It is indeed a pleasure to talk something about holistic and multidisciplinary education. Well, as you would like to know something about the basic concept under this head of the policy, when we think just about holistic and multidisciplinary education, I am reminded of our primitive education in India, and there was a time when we talked about 64 kala, that is 64 kalas in education, and at that time also we had Nalanda, we had Takshashila universities where wholesome education was provided to the students. And then we did not talk only about art or culture or science or engineering or profession, we tried to inculcate everything into our students. But as times flew ahead, gradually we became more and more restricted to our coursework, our syllabi, and more focus on what is the content we are going to teach to the students. As a result, we became more or less oriented towards only the coursework, and we forgot about values, we forgot about culture, we forgot about multidisciplinary education, how a student can get different types of education. It was this national education policy which came out in 2020, which rethought about how we can develop a personality of a student in a holistic manner or in a multidisciplinary manner. So, I think that it is a very good initiative of the Government of India through NEP 2020 that we have started rethinking about holistic education and about multidisciplinary education.
Ji ma'am. As we know, the NEP 2020 introduced, before all the universities and educational institutes divided into what type of the compartment. Particularly we see the example of the engineering sections and vocational education sections. They are lacking about the soft skills and the values and the personality developments. How do you think about this NEP 2020 policy is helpful for the development of the personality of all the disciplines of the different universities?
I feel that earlier, like a science student had to opt only for science subjects, an art student had to opt only for art subject, commerce for commerce. So, these students, when they opted for a particular stream, and as they advanced in their educational level, they became more and more restricted. They forgot about skill development, they forgot about personality development, they forgot about arts, culture and everything. But now when we are talking about NEP 2020, we are trying to bring all these things together. So, it may be either technical education or professional education. Even a science students can go in for philosophy, can go in for fine arts. All these options are there in the national education policy. And I myself have observed it through my career that many of the students who are science students, and when you have an art competition, you see that a science student wins. So, what is this? He had the talent inside him, and despite not getting any training on that, he still is able to exhibit that art. So, now with this national education policy, I feel that we are giving opportunity to the students to come up with their inner talents or their other talents which are not related to their mainstream, and NEP allows them to take up those courses or programs.
As we think that many of the students who are having a science background, but they are comfortable enough to in a language also, but they have no scope to inculcate their all the skills which they have, and they want to expose themselves with the different part of the society. How our curriculum of this universities under the NEP 2020 may be reframed so that all the students may get the chance to come out with their own abilities and skills.
Earlier there was lack of opportunity. That is, these students, they never got a chance to express their talent in other streams which they already had. So now NEP, since it has given a provision that a student can opt for any type of coursework, so this would give him a platform that he can do well in other streams also. It is not necessary that he is going in for engineering, or he is going in for pharmacy, or he is going in for criminology or any other such type of program. But if he is good enough in say economics, he is good enough in political science, he can take up those courses. So this policy is providing a sort of an avenue for our students to look into their other varied interests which they had and they could not take earlier.
So, one major opportunity given in this policy, the multiple entry and multiple exit, is it the helpful for the students, and as well as the parents are not aware about this feature of this NEP 2020. So, is there any need of the counseling of the parents also, so that in a confident that our students reach to the right platform?
I think it is necessary, because if we talk just about the multiple exit type of multiple entry, multiple exit. So, this is a very good feature, especially myself being a woman. I know that many of the girls, they take up their courses, they get married and then they stop their education. And they are, suppose they have not been able to complete their graduation. So, that is it. They are still only intermediate pass and they are not able to complete their studies. But with this option, say for example, a student has not only completed his or her entire course, say for 1 year, if the student has done his or her studies, they can still get something in hand, that is a certificate. If they are doing 2 years of study, they will get a diploma. If they have done 3 years of study, they will get a degree. And if it is not in continuation, they can break up. And even if they do not want to go in for the degree level, they have studied only for 1 year, they are still going with something in their hand, that is a certificate. And if it is for 2 years, they will get a diploma, and later on they decide, after a few years, no, I can go in for a degree. So, their 2 years they have not gone waste, they have still got a diploma and they can only study for 1 more year. So, by studying 1 more year, they can complete the degree program. So, I think this is a wonderful way for our students, that they can have this option, they can study whenever they feel like. So, when they and it is true that many of the parents do not know about it, but I am very happy that during these past we are completing 5 years. During the past 5 years, people have become aware of NEP 2020, not only the students, but also the parents, and where the parents are not aware, I feel that the students are more aware, where the students are not aware, I feel that the parents are more aware. So, getting together with the parents and the students, I think that we are able to transmit this message, and wherever it is not being done, I am sure that in the years to come we will be able to do that.
One more thing, madam, the important feature of this policy is the academic bank of credit.
Right.
Is this academic bank of credit beneficial for the students to move from this university to other universities and other education institutes, and they got the confidence we are safe for completing 1 year, and if we think we come back, then it is easy to come back.
Firstly, this question is related to your previous question, and when we were talking about multiple entry and multiple exit. So, if we have this option of depositing our credits, that is what ABC is basically, academic bank of credits. Just like in a bank, we feel very secure when we have a good bank balance, and we move with confidence that whenever there is any difficulty, we can just draw that amount. It is similar with our students. When they have a good credit coursework in their academic bank of credits, they feel very secure that we already have so many credits. It is only these many credits which I have to earn and I will get the degree. So, I think that this is a very good prospective initiation for our students, that they have this option of depositing their credits. Whenever they are able to study, they will deposit them and their credits will be safe, just like they are in a bank. And whenever they require it, they can simply encash those credits and complete their degrees.
One more thing, madam, I would like to pay your attention about, when you are the part of the drafting this policy. Since the certificate course completed or a diploma course completed, is there any need of linkage with the industry if a candidate feel that I am completing my certificate, I will find the job in the job market. So there is a need of making the collaboration between the industries and this institution.
Definitely, definitely, and this is what NEP says, and I have seen that many of the universities, they have started collaborating with the industries. Earlier also in some of the programs we had it, that collaboration with the industry, or they are going in for an internship, or they are going in for some training program, but that was limited for a limited duration, and not all the courses had this industry connect. But now with NEP 2020, universities are also becoming more progressive, and I might say that the private universities are better ahead than the government universities. They have more freedom to act, and that is the reason that they are not only connecting with the industries. I have seen that they are calling industries to their campuses, and they are having their own setups in the university premises. Because what the universities need are a good industrial setup, and what the industries need is good human resource. They lack human resource, which the universities have. So, universities going in for MOUs like we are also doing. I think you are very well aware that the university here is also doing many MOUs. So, if other universities also follow the same practice, that they go ahead with signing MOUs with industries, and they have a better industry connect. So, it will not only train our students to become more industrialized, but I think that it will open up more new job opportunities also, because they will become acquainted with the system. The industries will also come to know about these students, and they will be able to absorb more and more students through this industry connect.
One more thing under this holistic and multidisciplinary educations, as the objectives of this particular area, earlier it was the what type of compartment, this is a BSc, BCom, BA, all these things. But of the students who have a science backgrounds need to be opt history or language subjects. So what would be the nomenclature of that degree after completion of 3 or 4 year? Is there any space in this NEP 2020 and give the direction to all the education institutes?
No, actually the degree will remain the same, only option avenues will open up. So, here if a student is getting a BSc degree, the degree will remain, the name of the degree will not change, but the options are open for the students, and they can have courses which are not related to the science stream, and they can have other options as well.
As the major and minor subjects opportunities
right. They can have
policy.
Major and minor. It is the way you classify your courses.
So, what is the difference between earlier we have a BA honors and all these things, but the NEP introduced the major and minor subjects. So, what is the difference between these two honors and this courses?
That's a good question, I must say, Professor Jain, because in honors course it was a super specialization of the same stream. Like if you are going in for botany honors, or if you are going in for zoology honors, there in different universities, in some of the universities they had additional courses for that program. In others the final year was devoted only to that particular subject. So, here when we are talking about honors course, we are specializing in that very stream, whereas in case of major and minor, in major and minor you are following the mainstream, and the minor subject it can be of any other stream. So, this is the basic difference. So, this will have a more varied composition with regard to NEP when we are talking about major and minor, and when we are talking about honors, it is more of a specialization or a specialization course.
For instance, suppose a science students who are expert in the physics, but he is also expert in the poetry, and he wants to make poetry as his profession, but the major subject is a physics. So, how will go into the job market or in the other places where his poetry skills emerged from the personality of that person, and he got the profession?
Yes, a student can do that, and maybe his minor qualities become more than a major. That is, I think, what you mean to say. But now that will depend on his future prospects, the place where he is trying to get a job, and if a music person finds him to be talented and up to the standards or up to the work which he desires from him, he might get a job there. There is no foundation, and that is the purpose why he took up that subject. So, that will depend on the job opportunities, where he is applying, and also what that particular industry or particular organization wants out of him.
One more thing, this as the nomenclature of this particular holistic, so the holistic exposure should be given at the right from the school education, and when the child entered in the higher educations, this holistic exposure may available at the terminal stage of the school education. Is it any directions for the school education from the higher side?
Yes, I think, and myself always being associated with the higher education, I have always felt that whatever we have to inculcate, that should come right from the school level.
Yeah.
So, when we are talking about holistic development, this holistic component should also come from the school level. And I think NEP is also moving in that direction. They are also approaching the school level, and since you are in the Department of Education, you know more about it, how what people are doing at the school level. And I think that when we start from the grassroots level, and we try to inculcate those holistic qualities in the student from the school, when they come in for the higher education, we are talking at the higher education to develop a wholesome personality.
Yeah.
And that can be possible only when from the school level they have been inculcated, they have been groomed in that manner. So, when they come to the university education, and the university will simply polish them then.
Yeah.
And after this polishing, when they come out to the society, I am sure that a student who has got holistic education, who has got multidisciplinary education, will be a fit person for the society.
So, one more thing, our ministry is also worried about the personality development of our Divyang students, and they have a lot of ability in all aspects of their personalities. Even the one aspect is lacking, but the other aspect is more comfortable. So, how our universities may develop a program for the Divyang students in an umbrella of the multidisciplinary educations and holistic educations?
Yes, that is right, and I know that now universities have started thinking on these lines. Earlier, these students, they did not get a suitable opportunity. Now, we ourselves, we have got instructions from the ministry, and we have also started a Divyangjan Learning Resource Center. So, we can provide them better facilities. That is what the other universities are also supposed to do, to provide them better facilities, so that their learning level is at par with other students. This is what we have to do. And I am sure that looking into their necessities and needs, if we are providing them proper opportunities, they can do it, they can come up to that level. And I may add that since now we are also undergoing the recruitment process, and I am very happy that wherever we had these reservation posts, we could get some very good candidates. It means that their level has, or they have also got education through this education system only, and they are up to that level that they can be appointed in universities. So, I feel that our present education system, especially with respect to NEP 2020, will be able to cater to their needs in a still better manner, and they will be able to find suitable positions in their career.
And the other thing is that some of the professional courses still they run according to their particular bot. But the holistic and this multidisciplinary education says that there should be some scope of that particular let us example of the teacher education courses. There is no any scope of the opting the other subjects from the other disciplines. So, how you think that there may be a provision for that particular professional courses?
Well, I think then you should approach the council, because this is what I also heard, that in education we are not yet able to adopt this type of flexibility. So, I think you should go ahead, because like in other courses or in other subjects we are doing and trying to bring about a flexibility in the courses, I think education should also go on these lines, because that is a more important department. It is rearing or cultivating the teachers of tomorrow.
I think the National Council of Teacher Education and AICTs and all the statutory bodies should think over that, because of they are also known about the features of the NEP 2020. So definitely we will approach under your
Definitely, definitely.
leadership. And,
I do hope that you do that so that we have flexibility for these students also.
yeah. And one more thing, you did a lot of innovations and experiments in this university. So what is your dream to develop the holistic and multidisciplinary education in not only in our university but whole of the country?
Well, Professor Jain, with this concept of the National Education Policy 2020, I think that we have changed our path towards the betterment. When we talk about holistic education, when we talk about multidisciplinary education, and you know that we have taken certain measures in our university. I am very happy that we are in the 4th year of implementation of NEP 2020, and this is the way we have moved ahead, trying to incorporate major subjects, minor subjects, giving them flexibility to our students, giving them ability enhancement courses, giving them skill enhancement courses, giving them value enhancement courses. So, all these options are there. We have opened up the avenues for our students. Similarly, when we are talking at the national level and talking about implementation of NEP 2020, I am sure that we will open up these avenues for our students in a much broader manner. And there are certain difficulties or glitches in implementation, because when we talk about such a wide variety of flexibility, you being in the teacher education, you know how important the teachers are. So, we have to lay an emphasis on not only the quantity, but also the quality of teachers, because teachers of our time like you and me, we did not undergo this holistic type of education. So, the new teachers which are coming up, they should be trained in this holistic type of education, so that they can impart this holistic and multidisciplinary education to our students, because the teacher is the best guide. The students will learn what the teachers tell them. So, we have to have a really good quality of teachers who can cater to these needs, and now I see that the teachers also, they are more versatile, they can take up this challenge, and they know that they have to take up this challenge. Even in our interviews, we often ask questions on NEP 2020 and how familiar they are with that. So, I am sure that now, since this policy is being implemented, our teachers will also come up, they will groom our students also in that manner, and as a result, the future of tomorrow, I see what future is going to be, because as our Honorable Prime Minister says that we have to become a Vikasit Bharat. I would say that we have to become a Suvikasit Bharat. That is, it has to become so much of Vikasit or developed that it should be not only a national competitor, it should be an international competitor. And with this policy, I am sure that in future we are going to become an international competitor with other countries as well with respect to education.
It's a great pleasure the discussion with you about the one of the major feature of this policy NEP 2020, multidisciplinary holistic education, and you highlighting the many more features of this policy, not only the let down in the policy, but with your experience you share many of the views how the universities and educational institutes, not only the higher education but the from the school level, how it will be developed, and when and a particular thought and thinkings developed in the mind of the parents also, and if the parents are ready to move ahead with their child, definitely the students, schools education and higher educations may develop a tremendous exposure in the personality of the prospective future of the country.
That's right.
And
That's right.
We are pleasure to know the many more experiences of your personality also. You are the Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, not only the Honorable Vice Chancellor, but the great educationists of the country, and you are the pillar of making the draft of this policy. Very thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.